we learned that the defense attorney that had represented some of the victims' families, she who represented those victims' families is also representing now Bryan Kohberger, which to me seems like a conflict of interest. And of course, she doesn't want to give up the Bryan Kohberger case, So now she's just the Bryan Kohberger attorney and not the attorney for any of the victims' families anymore. To me, that sounds like she just wants the biggest type case, which makes sense, but it doesn't make sense that you would leave your existing clients for Bryan Kohberger, right? Bryan Kohberger is the new guy. Your existing clients, they need to be serviced first, but to just abandon them for Bryan because it's the big case that everyone's going to be watching and she wants to cover that. I think it's a really small county and a very small area, and they just don't have a lot of attorneys that are suitable to do this type of work. I think that's what's going on. And maybe that's the case. I don't know, but I think it's possibly setting things up for a mistrial. And I'm sure Bryan is happy to do that, behind closed doors, because he's just thinking like, oh, wow, if anything doesn't work out the way that I want, I can just claim a mistrial that my attorney represented the victims' families. So there you go. That's the mistrial right there. Kind of like have a mistrial in his back pocket type thing. And, the attorney's happy to defend Bryan because she wants all the publicity and possibly a big payday. I don't know exactly how much they pay for, like a big murder trial, but I'm sure it's more than just like a traffic stop or any drug related charges that she may have been involved in with the victims' families. So I don't know. It's just the reality, I think, of a very small town. There's stories of things going on there that were just SMH, shake my head. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that's actually going on in that town. Such as an attorney on a case was also the coroner for the victim in that case. I mean, how much more of a conflict can you get? I mean, let's be real. I mean, wow. I mean, first of all, it's a little odd that I guess you have someone who has medical background experience who can actually be a coroner for somebody. And then that same person also has a law degree and a law license to practice law in that state. I mean, I just can't imagine actually having the person who does the autopsy, of the victim also be an attorney on the case involving that victim. It's just, oh my gosh, it's mind-boggling. Oh my goodness. And I said in a prior podcast, and I think it holds true, that it's possible that someone like Bryan Kohberger, or whoever did this, whether Bryan did it or not, the person that did this, part of the calculus to target the people that he did was in the back of his mind thinking that it's a small town. It's more likely that person will get away with it if he does it in a small town as opposed to in a larger city that deals with these types of homicides all the time. Sometimes really every day they do this, every day. So they're used to prosecuting homicides, and investigating homicides. The police are used to that. But you go to a small town, they're not used to this type of stuff. And yeah, they brought in the FBI and they had a few people working on it from the FBI, which is great. And I'm sure they were able to help out a bit, but how much? We don't know. We don't really know like how much they were involved. Were they actually involved in the crime scene and kind of combing through things? Or were they just involved in more doing the data analysis behind the scenes to try to track down the perpetrator? Try to track down what turned out to be Bryan Kohberger. Was it like that? We don't know. And I guess what I'm saying with all this is that I'm kind of concerned that things are winding up and they're kind of moving in the direction where this could either be a mistrial or the police just don't have that much evidence because they just haven't really done many of these types of murder cases, so they're possibly missing something. We don't know. But personally, I think that the Moscow PD did take a little bit longer to solve this, or at least get their guy that they think is their guy, at least right now. Okay. I believe they took a little bit longer than some other areas, which, hey, hopefully Bryan Kohberger didn't do anything else in that time frame. Hopefully Bryan Kohberger is the guy, right? Hopefully they have enough evidence. Hopefully. The reality is that they rarely come across these types of cases. So hopefully they have enough evidence. Hopefully Bryan Kohberger is their guy. You know, it seems like it from the police affidavit. We don't know 100%, but we're going to find out what they have in June. And hopefully it's more than just what's in the affidavit, you know, of just, you know, cell phone data. Oh, well, this cell phone was here and then it was there, so it has to be him. Well, unfortunately, that data can sometimes not be 100% accurate, right? It can be a little skewed, especially if he already lives not too far away from there.